Hey guys, it's Danica. I'm here today with a different kind of video. A few weeks back, I did a stamp organization blog post over on the Studio 29 Designs blog as part of their Take 10 Tuesday. And I just did it with pictures. This was before I got into doing YouTube videos. And so it was just like kind of a step-by-step how I do it. And then in my last Project Life video, I had my album out and I opened it up and I took some stamps out that I decided to use on my layout. And I had some people ask me some questions about what kind of album I used and how I went about doing that organizing. So I just wanted to show you that today. And I have some new Take 10 stamps that I need to get into my binder. And like I said in the blog post, I try to do this like every time I get new stamps. So at the beginning it was kind of a big project, but now it's really a lot of times just like a 10-minute deal. I get my new stamps, I figure out where they're going to go. I might have to do a little bit of reorganizing to get them where I want, but I think I've got a pretty good system down now, and I'm going to show you that today. So here I have my 4 new Take 10 stamps, and this is my album. This is a close to my heart D-ring binder, and when they first came out with these, they had some problems with the binder rings, and so they refunded all the consultants who bought them, but we got to keep the albums. So the new albums are much better. The binding is reinforced and the clips don't come apart. But I didn't want to just throw the album away. I didn't think that that was like a really good use of my resources. So here's my album. It's 12 by 12 and I use, I think this is the design, let me check here. Is it design? Yeah, design C is probably one of my favorite page protectors for this project. I do really like the close to my heart ones. As you can see, they come in from the side, whereas the Becky Higgins ones, I can show you here. I have a blank page just for the Becky Higgins. I think I have those in the back with some of my cheaper stamps. Those are top loading. And so the problem with those is they can come out. A lot of times they slide around. You can see I've got some that kind of stick out the top and they don't like to stay where they are. So I prefer the close to my heart ones just for that reason, but I use the Project Life ones just because it's just more, it's what I have. I have them on hand. I haven't had to purchase any special page protectors for these. I just already had all of these. So again, either one works. I'm going to kind of show you. I subscribe to Citrus Twist kits, so these are my current stamps that I've received for my kits, plus other ones that I purchased before I was a kit subscriber. And then I have a blank page here just for my newest stamps, and I have already pre-cut. These are just 4x6 white cardstock, and you'll see how I use those here in a moment. So those are my Citrus Twist stamps. These are my Studio 29 from my Take 10 kits. And so I have all of these already organized. You'll see I don't put anything on the back side, mostly because you'd have to access it from the other side, and I don't know, I think that would be kind of weird. But and these are all just my smaller stamp sets, so anything too big like this one, it might be really close. I might not be able to get it into this binder, and that's another topic for another day on how I organize those other stamps. You can kind of see, like, I have these close to my heart ones that come in these packets, and so they're like 6x6, and I have special organizers from close to my heart to store these stamps, and I also have little baskets where I keep other, like, ones I use the most. So anyway, so on to how I do this. I have a blank page here for my Take 10. I'm using the Project Life page protectors. I did run out of the close to my heart ones, and I have the Design C already on hand. So what I'm going to do is just pull out my cardstock. I will take my stamp out of the packaging. I do discard the packaging, but I do cut the top off of this, so I know where I got the stamp from. I stick it down on the card, and then I just use some glue dots. These are the bigger ones. I think they're actually called the medium. And I just do one glue dot in the center of my stamp set, peel that off and stick it down, and that's it. And it's ready to go, and it's not going to fall off of there. And then when I want to use it, I just peel it off of here. Sometimes I cut these apart so that they're not stuck together anymore, but it doesn't really matter because they cling to the plastic on the other side, so they're not gonna go anywhere. And then I just slide it in. Now, sometimes I will also write on the card. So this was from the October kits. So I'll just write October, take 10 kits. And so then if I'm using this in next year or the year after, I can reference that and say, oh, that was from the, oh, and I usually write the year, the October 2015 take 10 kits. All right, so then I just slide that in there, and that's how I do these smaller stamps. So I think the sideways page protectors work a lot better, and I don't know if there's another brand besides Close to My Heart that makes them that enter from the side. I only have the Becky Higgins ones, so I don't really have that to try. Now with this bigger stamp, it's the same kind of deal. It's not going to, it's going to fit just fine on this card. And again, I'm just going to trim this off so I know what company this came from. And now this wasn't a monthly, this was just an add-on stamp set. So I'm not going to write anything on there, but I'm just gonna apply some glue, and this will go right. Whoops, well, that's not gonna fit the best. So actually I think I'm gonna go this way with it. It doesn't really matter to me which way they go. Some people might be more picky about that. Now with these bigger ones, I usually do one glue dot at the top, and then I'll do another one at the bottom. And then I will stick that down, and it's ready to go in the page protector. So that's it for that one. Now this bigger one, it's a 4x6 stamp set, so I'm going to have to see if it's going to fit or not. And I'm not sure that it's going to. I can kind of test. Obviously it's bigger, but I can trim some of this plastic off of the edge. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and just trim some of that off. And it's not hurting the stamp set. It's not messing with anything underneath it. So it doesn't make any difference in the stamp set. We'll see if that then fits. And it does. Now, I can't really glue down this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to trim this down so that it does fit in the pocket instead of using my other piece of white cardstock. So I'll just set that aside and use it for a different stamp set. And I'm just going to trim this down. I don't want to cut too much of the logo off. I will trim this down at the bottom just because. Okay, and it might be a little bit bigger, and this is where the top loading works a little bit better for the bigger stamps. So just going to trim that down to 4x6. And then I'm not going to actually attach this one with these bigger ones. I'll just slide it in there, and really the white card is more so I can see the stamp set better, and so that I know who made the stamp set. Because a lot of times I get asked, especially now that I'm doing videos, like, oh, where'd you get that stamp set? And I'm just like, oh goodness, I can't remember. So I did go through all of my stamps, and the ones that I didn't have anything written on, if they didn't have packaging that came with their logo on it, which some of them really don't. Some of those Miss Kim Creates stamps don't come with anything, and so they are they're hard. It's hard for me to remember where I got them. Usually I have a pretty good memory about what line something comes from or things like that. Like I'll know, oh, that's Studio Calico, that's, you know, that's Take 10, that's Simple Stories, but it doesn't always work out that way. So now I have all 4 of my new stamp sets stored in my binder, and it's good to go. So you can see I also used some of this design. I'm trying to remember. This is design. Oh, I can't find it now here. I don't remember which design this is, but this is also a close to my heart one, and it's the side loading. So I really like those. They're reinforced stitched, and I know my stamp sets aren't going to slide around and go anywhere. This I used the top loading because I had all these little skinny Studio Calico stamps, and I just put them all on one thing there. So see here I have these Miss Kim stamps, and so I just wrote that at the top so I didn't forget where it came from. I don't have anything written on this one. I'm not sure. I think all of these are the Clearly Kelly or the Miss Kim. So, and those are just some other random stamps that I have, and all these Heidi Swap ones. I did the same. I just cut the packaging out and I glued those down. So you can kind of see these are kind of flimsy. They kind of fall out. They're not as good as the side loading, this design, and that's horrible. I can't think of what that is. Or the design C from Close to My Heart. So that's it. I wanted to show you that today so that you can kind of see how I have my stamps organized. And this just sits on my desk and I can grab it really easily when I'm looking for something specific. And this is most of the stamps I use in my project life for now. So I do have another little basket. I can kind of show you that where these are this is just like I don't know, it's just a plastic basket. These are the Close to My Heart stamps that I use the most. And so I've just kept them in here. I have thought about, because some of these are smaller. I thought about taking them out and organizing them in my binder, but I just haven't bit the bullet and done it. So, you know, maybe I'll do that someday, but not all of them are that small. Some of them are the 6x6 size. So, but these are the ones I use the most. And then I have a ton of storage over there in my hutch, where I have the big plastic boxes that Close to My Heart sells to store their stamp sets. So that's it. Please let me know if you have any other questions. I love to read the comments, and I will definitely answer any questions that you have down there. So thanks for watching.